Have you looked at your life and questioned the promises of God in your life? Have you sat down to think about all the wonderful promises God has made to you? You could remember how beautiful those promises were. And have you also thought of the reasons why many of those promises are not coming to pass? You see others living the best of their lives, making headway, and you just look at your life, look up and say, has God forgotten me? Now come closer and listen. There is a process that leads to every promise. Have you thought of the story of Joseph? Yes, he had a dream of becoming great to the extent that his brothers would bow down to him. But what happened next? He became a slave even in an unknown land, locked up in the prison for what he knew nothing about. He had all the right to tell God to go with his promises, but yet he went through the process. What about Abraham, whom God promised to be the father of all nations, and yet his wife was barren for years? The father of nations that don't even have one son. But yet he went through the process. Have you thought of Noah, who had to build an ark even without the sign of any rain? He looked so stupid to the people, but still continued because he knew that even the foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men. And he went through the process. Even our Lord Jesus Christ had to go through some processes before the fulfillment of his ministry could begin. For 30 years our Messiah was silent, nowhere to be found. Even when he finally showed forth, the devil came to play the smart game on him. If the Messiah went through the process, now tell me, who are you not to go through any process and expect the fulfillment of promise to happen? Every promise is backed up with a process. Now the question should be, are you going through that process? There is no promise without a process. It is either you go through the process and get to the promise, or you skip the process and lose the promise. It's now left for you to sit down and ask yourself, what's that process that is backing up the fulfillment of the promise of God in my life? Am I going through the process, or have I skipped it? The process might seem hard, but the promise ahead will not make you feel the hardness of the process. Go through that process like your life depends on it, and allow God do the fulfillment of his promise. Because you know what? I want to see you at the top.